Hello.
Welcome to Annapolis.
We're here. Session ends on Monday.
Woo-woo!
We'll be here tomorrow.
We'll be here Saturday. We'll be here Monday.
Yes, exactly. So we wanted to give you an update about where we're at with just a few days to go and highlight some of the bills that still need a push. Thanks for everybody who's emailed and called. Your emails, sharing social media is all helping. But we have a few bills that
Just a few.
just a few that we are still working to get over the finish line by 11:59 on Monday. So one of them is SB 94, which is the Earned Wage Access Bill, and that expands consumer protections and puts some guardrails around these payday loan apps and basically says you cannot require people to tip, which they had been doing, and it has to conform to anti-discrimination laws. So the bill's passed one chamber, as you know, and we are waiting on a vote in House Economic Matters Committee.
And we came very close, but there's still a lot of threats of weakening amendments. So that's the big piece we're trying to prevent from happening.
Exactly. We want the bill to pass exactly as it passed in the Senate. We also know grocery prices are crushing everyone. I can verify in my household it's painful. And the governor has legislation which helps make sure that your personal data can't be used to increase the prices on the groceries that you pay so that I don't pay a different price than JBD does. And that bill, again, is close to a vote in the House Economic Matters Committee, and we think it'll come to a vote tomorrow.
There's also been a lot of work around tenant protections. We do have some really important bills under that category of bills that would help prevent tenants from unfair screening practices, so getting people into their homes. One is Senate Bill 335, House Bill 315. This closes a loophole in our discrimination laws to make sure that landlords aren't using credit history as a proxy to discriminate based on source of income. That bill was very, very jammed, but has finally broken free. So we actually are very confident at this point. It is headed to the floor in both chambers in a very strong form. So we're very excited to see that moving forward. And all eyes now are on fair chance, which is limiting the types of criminal history that can be used to deny someone a housing application. That bill is in Economic Matters. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. You already heard us with the earned wage and with dynamic pricing. Add this to the list as well. Fair chance should also be on that vote list tomorrow in Economic Matters. So a lot of focus on that committee right now.
And then finally, you've heard or seen us talk about zombies. So the zombie mortgage bill has been jammed up. It's passed, the House version passed, and it's been in the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee. We are seeing movement today, so we are hoping that we will be able to move forward and that a bill will get on the vote list in Senate JPR and pass out of JPR, in which case we will be able to protect people from these predatory mortgages and have a statute of limitation like 48 other states. So stay tuned. Again, today and tomorrow will be very important.
And we have one bill that is stuck in the Senate Finance Committee. This was a bill that came in a little bit later, and it helps crack down on rental scams that you might see on Facebook or Craigslist, where someone is fraudulently posting a property that isn't theirs for rent. And that bill did move out of the House. It has no opposition at this point, so it's really just a matter of finance getting it on a vote list and getting it moving, which we are cautiously optimistic, but certainly pushing to make happen.
And then I'd say the last one, so you can see a lot to do today and tomorrow. So if we look a little frazzled, you know why. There is legislation that would expand protections for people going through bankruptcy proceedings, so they'd be able to protect more of the equity in their home under bankruptcy. And the Senate and House have had different versions of the bill, but we're hoping they'll be able to come together and move that bill on one or both sides today or tomorrow.
And for everyone who's been struggling with your utility bills, which is all of us,
exactly,
the omnibus energy package that we support many, many pieces of has been finalized. So we think that's going to go to conference and then final passage in the House and the Senate. We'll be doing a lot more analysis and debrief on what made it and what didn't. Honestly, the amendments alone were 190 pages. So we are still cautiously looking at what's in that bill, but excited to see something move that we do think addresses a lot of the reforms we were asking for.
So again, thanks again. We may have one or two more alerts. We will be posting after Sunny Die on Monday, sort of a report out on what moved. So keep your eyes on that. And we'll be planning some sort of debrief later on in May to just sort of go into a little more depth and amplify and highlight some of the champions and what we're going to be looking at bringing back next year as well, because that is the fate of some of our bills as well.
We were just saying, well, at least we know what we'll be working on in 2027.
Exactly. So thanks so much. We appreciate all your support, your emails, and everything. It makes a huge difference.
Stay tuned. Midnight on Monday the 13th is the final midnight.